Okay. How are you? Real bright. What's your name? Where are you from? Come on.
Just outside of that.
Thanks, sir. Garrett, right up.
Where are you from?
Baltimore.
What's your name? Ball. What's your name? Good to see you, sir.
Robert Fred, sir.
So nice to see you guys. You need help, I can tell. Hey, sir, maybe on this one, he's not going, he'd like to cut this hair. Thing you don't want me doing is cutting your hair. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Ramon, sir.
Good to see you, Ramon.
Correct.
What's your first name?
Anthony, sir.
Anthony.
Guys, we're gonna move up.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
Correct, we're gonna move. Correct.
Go press.
Here, how you? I can't, I'm okay.
Good. We had a check so you take the camera on these sticks. We promise we won't shoot anything else. You just put this down in here.
I need to go.
Kolejne sankcje i kolejne pakiety pomocy militarnej i humanitarnej dla Ukrainy i dla Polski, bo tu Stany Zjednoczone, NATO muszą działać dwutorowo. Trzeba wzmacniać flankę wschodnią, żeby zabezpieczyć przed coraz bardziej agresywną postawą Rosji, która odgraża się już wprost atakiem nuklearnym na kraje natowskie, w tym na Polskę. To oczywiście są takie groźby, powiedziałbym, no, mało realne, ale skoro już jest mowa, to trzeba reagować powyżej poziomu tych gruźb, czyli przygotowywać się zawsze na najgorsze scenariusze. No i też skutecznie wysyłać pomoc na Ukrainę, do Ukrainy. I tam rzeczywiście jest potrzebna i ta broń defensywna, i broń taka, która jest w stanie pomóc Ukraińcom odbić te już zajęte
You don't have a good side.
That was pretty. Hey, you got it. That was pretty good. He got you.
Oh yeah, I didn't thought about that.
You guys?
Yeah.
We need coding for the machine. I just want to make sure that
Good, brother?
I don't know if that will end up happening. Like, I hear there's a lot of fire and no, just because that started and just kind of just that's the thing. Your mom's gonna watch this. Mom, is you okay? I need material covering the chest. He's going to jack in the tunic. Like press conferences, sometimes through microphones. What's that one? So the British really go around. It's news gives us Sky News.
Hershey Kisses, which my audio guys are really weird. Shut up, Billy.
It wasn't me.
Somebody tripod.
You go take a shit. Right there, like this. Nice with tissue. You need like a big hit story to get to the White House press. How many houses you get to where you're at? Nah, I feel like, yeah, some people.
To the computer.
because of this, everyone else is going that way, and I have to. You're always with us. You're always with us.
Guys, really, right there, the rest of the way, and then
80-second cab.
farther down to all places, and then we'll hold there.
Casper, Pegasus.
Isabel?
Flipping that guy before this.
Cameras, I've got my have some precedents.
Got the pizza. Got it, sir. It's there. Hey, folks, I just came by to say thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And what you'll always do. You know, 1% of you represent the entirety of America. Praise the Lord. 99% of the Zodiac. I really mean it. Thank you very, very much for all you do. And it's not hyperbole to suggest you are the finest fighting force, not in the world, but in the world. That's not hyperbole. In the history of the world, you're the finest fighting force in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, because I have to say it again. And so thank you for what you do. Thank you for all you do. And I just, you're in trouble now. Matter of fact, the last time I was in, not the last time, but a couple times ago, I was in a mess in Baghdad, and I walked in and I was looking for my son, and I'm going around, where the hell is my son? He's been there for a year. I'm looking for him, and I finally see him, and his name is different. I said, "Bo, what the hell's going on?" His name was Bo Biden. He was a colonel, I mean a major, excuse me. And I said, "What happened?" He said, "Dad." He said, "With the name Biden, everybody thinks something's going on, so I'm Hunter." That's my mother's maiden name. So if any of you had to change your names, let me know, okay? See if I can help. You can smile, man. I'm okay. Where are you from? Arkansas. Where in Arkansas? Anyway, thank you. And are you finished eating or just starting?
They're starting and they're doing a little bit closer.
Well, if you're starting to eat, I'm going to sit down and have something to eat. Is that all right?
Yeah. We got the pizza. Pizza? There you go. That one has jalapenos. This one has cheese.
Small, sir. So we're ready to talk about 10 minutes ago about pizza.
You guys want to move?
We made it happen, sir. You made it work.
I have trouble with the major partner. How long have you been here? About 2 months.
So, do you have a phone count?
Yeah, I did. You know the best about the
No issues with package, no issues with checking. You're good.
That's my name. Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Real good, sir. How are you?
Shaughnessy?
Yeah, O'Shaughnessy, sir.
Shaughnessy. Oh, I'm Gene Finnegan's son, so we're all right. Good to see you, man. There you go. What's it like that?
Here, sir? It's pretty comfortable. I like the experience, training. It's a lot that I learned.
How long have you been here? Actually, I know. Anyway, we became friends. And I used to always kid him. Said no, he said, I got something for you when I go back. I went to the Admiralty, and then Biden, why? 1851. Biden wrote it.
I just didn't know if you wanted pictures of that.
So we came back, and went to the Admiralty, and it turned out. Great born in 1879 and that turned out to be a captain of the British Navy. And he wrote the rules of admiralty. We're back after we had repented. He went back, walked some houses, and said, it was like this. I said, well, you know, we have some Dutch. You know, I should say, well, it was, you know, I had a grandfather and his grandfather. Mom was to have.
I wanted a picture of apparently not. You guys update on Tinder.
We're just going to move back in the room a little bit. Press folks, we're going to just move a little bit and go back. Not completely out of staff. Yeah, staff. We're going to move back.
We gotta get one. We don't go over there. I just fall out of
Back. We're gonna keep going back. Like I'm No, I don't know about that. It's just horrible. Hey guys, keep pushing down. Why don't we go stand behind that last, I guess, by that bar?
You guys?
Yes. It's like a bribery. They already have pizza.
From Texas.
That's a good one. There you go. You got a good one.
How you doing, sir? Yes. Great state of Ohio. State of Ohio, sir. Oh, nice. Great people, sir.
Okay, I'll get them to you. Where you from? I'm not bringing them to you.
I got it here, sir. I'll send it up. I'll send it.
Let me take a picture of myself. He's been waiting. He's got this great smile right here. So.
Where you from? You know why I like South Carolina? I won every precinct in South Carolina.
Yes.
I kind of judge what I like these days, but no. What's your name? Where you from? Tampa, Florida. All right, man. It's really good right now. What's your name? Good to see you. How are you, man?
Chalico, Mr.
Good to
President.
see you. Where are you from?
Los Angeles, California.
So meet you. John Louis. Good to see you, John Louis. Nice to see you. What's your first name? First name. Hey, man. Good to see you, man. Go ahead. Sure can. All right, here you go. I'm gonna do it this way. I'll take stand up. Thank you. Thank you. What's your name?
I got to put
Where?
at least the airdrop this shit. Yeah, this is what I was like. Airdrop will get back. A lot of eyes. Yeah. I got you.
That's amazing.
How long you been in?
Oh, we visiting, man. We finna leave.
What's your name and his name?
President, all the way, sir. How are you doing? Great after you. Sure, you take a selfie with you? If you mind taking I normally take all the photos. We're great to have a photo with you. Bird there. Get my boss in there. He's right there. Colonel Lee right there. He's the one that makes it happen. Come on, sir. Get in there. Get in there. Good shot.
Come on, guys, let's go.
At ease, please.
At ease.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? That was weak and infirm. How's everybody doing? All right. You know, when you get the question like that, you're supposed to knock the top of the roof off. I want to make sure nobody's sleeping out there. I want to introduce a very special guest that needs no introduction. Would just like for you to know one thing from your Secretary of Defense, and that is every day that I talk to my boss, he asks about how you're doing and whether or not you have what you need to be successful. And he is concerned about you and focused on you each and every day. So I want you to hear that from me because it's the God's honest truth, and it's who he is. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the President of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Don't jump. You guys are used to jumping. Don't jump. Anyway, thanks for letting me come and say hello to you all. You know, I've been saying this a long time, and the people who travel with me know that because I was a senator for 36 years in the Foreign Relations Committee, traveled around the world, and 8 years as vice president, now president. And, you know, a couple things. First of all, thank you. You represent 1% of the American people. None of you have to be here. You all decided to be here for your country. Every one of you volunteered. Every single one of you stepped up. And the rest of the 99% of the rest of the country, including me, owes you. And owes you big, number one. Number two, you know, we're a unique country in many ways. And we're the only country in the world not organized based on geography or ethnicity or religion or race or anything else. We're based on an idea. Literally the only country in the world based on an idea. That we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all women and men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Sounds corny, but it's the truth of who we are. We've never lived up to it, but we've never walked away from it. And the rest of the world looks to us. Because, you know, we not only lead by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. And your generation combines both. The rest of the world looks at you and sees who you are. They see you are a multi-ethnic group of Americans that are in fact together and united in one resolve to defend your country and to help those who need help. That's why you're here. I spent a lot of time in Ukraine when I was a senator and vice president. I've spoken to the Rada in the days when they, in fact, didn't have what you'd call a democracy, and was there in the Maidan when the former leader had to take off and head into Russia. And so, you know, but the Ukrainian people have a lot of backbone. They have a lot of guts, and I'm sure you're observing it. And I don't mean just the military, which is we've been trained in since back when Russia moved into in the southeast Ukraine, but also the average citizen. Look at how they're stepping up. Look at how they're stepping up. And you're going to see when you're there, and some of you have been there, you're going to see women, young people standing in the middle in front of a damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible. But they take a lot of inspiration from us. And you know, a woman who just died, the Secretary of State, used to have an expression. She said, we are the essential nation. It sounds like a bit of hyperbole, but the truth of the matter is, you are the organizing principle around which the rest of the world the free world is moving. And we're in the midst of, and I don't want to sound too philosophic here, but you're in the midst of a fight between democracies and oligarchs. Xi Jinping, who I've spent more time with, they tell me than any other world leader, points out to me he believes in China that democracies can't succeed in the 21st century. The reason is things are moving so fast, change is happening so quickly, that democracies require consensus, and we can't put together consensus as quickly as autocrats can. So what's at stake, not just in what we're doing here in Ukraine to try to help the Ukrainian people and keep the massacre from continuing. But beyond that, what's at stake is what are your kids and grandkids going to look like in terms of their freedom? What's happening? The last 10 years have been fewer democracies have been formed than we've lost in the world. So this is what you're engaged in is much more than just whether or not you can alleviate the pain and suffering of the people of Ukraine. We're in a new phase. Your generation, we're at an inflection point. About every 4 or 5 generations that comes along and changes, fundamental change takes place. The world ain't going to be the same, not because of Ukraine, but I'm not going to be the same 10, 15 years from now in terms of our organizational structures. And the question is, who's going to prevail? Are democracies going to prevail and the values we share, or autocracy is going to prevail? And that's really what's at stake. So what you're doing is consequential, really consequential. And as I said to a group in the dining room, you all in the chow mess hall, the fact of the matter is that you are the finest, this is not hyperbole, you are the finest fighting force in the history of the world. Let me say it again. The finest fighting force in the history of the world. Part of the reason is you've had to fight so much for the last 20 years. It's for real. There are not many generations. You know, the greatest generation was my father's generation, your grandparents' generation, World War II generation. But nobody, no other generation has had to be in a battle, have your buddy blown up, wipe the blood off the Humvee and get back in and saddle up and go for another 6 months. Second time I flew in, I've been in and out of Iraq and Afghanistan about 40 times, 38 times. And every time I'd go in, I'd see, like the last time I flew in, and I flew in I'm up in the cockpit when I was landing in Bagram. And there were 6 people came up with the cargo, basically, while I was flying. And I said, how many of you it's your first tour of duty? Not one person raised their hand. Second tour, not one person. Third tour of duty, 3. Fourth, 1. Fifth, 1, and 6th, 1. That's never happened before. One thing to go in and be in the middle of a battle, go home and get sent back again. And so one of the things I've said, and I've gotten in trouble for saying, but not anymore, I've been saying it since I've got elected. We have a sacred obligation. Only one obligation is government. We have a lot of obligations to the elderly, the poor, children, etc. Only one sacred obligation: to equip those that we send to war, and to care for them and their families when they come home. And so you all are an amazing group of women and men. And I just want to thank you for your service. As your Commander-in-Chief, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. As I said, it's not new to me. My son spent a year in Iraq. He spent 6 months in Kosovo. Won the Bronze Star, the Conspicuous Service Medal, and other awards. Proudest thing I ever did was put that uniform on. Like many of you, he didn't have to go either. He was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware and the Delaware National Guard. And what happened was, when his unit was going to be sent overseas, he had to go to Washington to get an equivalent of a dispensation, because you either had to be federal property or state property. He was the Attorney General of the state. He had to give up the office in order to be able to go with his troops. The point is, but there were hundreds and thousands of people like my son, like all of you. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's not only what you're doing to help the Ukrainian people. It's not only what you're doing to help Europe begin to regain its confidence. The reason why, when the Secretary of State asked me if I'd send another 12,000 troops along to the United States, I said, yeah, from the United States. We've got 100,000 American forces here in Europe. We haven't had that in a long, long time, because we are the organizing principle for the rest of the world. And I said, we've sent the best available of America, and that's all of you, women and men. So I'm here, I came for one simple, basic reason, not a joke. Say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. Thank you for who you are, and thank you for what you're doing. And as As my grandfather would say, every time I walked out of his house, he'd yell, Joey, and Scranton, he said, keep the faith. My grandmother would yell, all kidding aside, this is serious. She'd yell, no, spread it. You're spreading the faith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May God bless you all and keep you safe. May God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you.
If we could have you all just kind of stay where you are. You want to look right over there. Secretary, please.
Здорово. Ты что вчера писала? Надо было звонить. Да. Да, ничего. Ничего. Рассказывай, какие новости. Да. Pogoda udała.
Malutki to będzie podgotowka?
Podrychtówka.
Podrychtówka, tak? Dziękuję.
А не украинский. Не русский.
Что нужно сказать? Какой вопрос?
Дружба.
Сябровство. Сябровство. Сябры, друзья.
Aktualnie po tym jeszcze. Sorry guys, can I just ask you to come back a little bit just so I can get the full shot? Thank you.